Ben Shapiro has some words about his rap, and we got to talk about that. We have fan art to get into, and then we're going to talk about him sucking his own as he talks about his musical career. I guess he's going to be starting soon. But this is from XLR. Found them and knew they were somewhere. Fan art gifts have been returned to the fan art section where they belong. Thank you very much, XLR, for both the standard Suris color and the slime Suris color persona. As always, everybody, thank you very, very much for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown on a future video, then drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and burn an image into your brain that you will never be able to stop thinking about. Before I even hit play, what does this image look like to you? Does this look like a man who's confident in himself, or does this look like a man who's trying too hard? Because, to me, this just looked like a man who's trying way too hard. Is that him trying to be a rapper? Yep. All right, now let's take a look.
Yo, 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 it's my homie, Tom McDonald.
It didn't get better when he started speaking. Speaking made it worse.
Tom, it's been a hell of a weekend. So, G,
he's got the fucking smoke blowing in there as well. He's trying so hard. He's trying so hard. It screams, hello, fellow kids. Hello, fellow rappers.
About how Fact is doing. He's #1 on the iTunes charts in the United States. He's trending all the way up to #2 worldwide, but we're facing some entrenched opposition from members of the industry who don't like the insurgent campaign that we have been waging against them. They don't know the true artistry of hip-hop, I think, from people like, I mean...
This is the same guy that said that rap isn't music. He goes from rap isn't music because my daddy says so to, well, actually, they don't know the true artistry of hip-hop. Oh, God, not the yo-yo-yo and the chain and the glasses and the voice.
You actually know what you're doing, but, like, from me, I don't think anyone expected me to just, you know, be as amazing as I am at this. Clear.
He's just sucking his own dick. He's just sucking his own dick.
Clearly, and I've got the bling to, like, I'm ready to go. I've been hitting all the clubs, leading a new lifestyle, but we still have to overcome some obstacles, Tom.
Absolutely. Well, it's nice to see you entrenched in the culture. The craziest part about this is I almost showed up dressed as you today. But yeah, man, it's been, you know, for your first step out the door, Ben, you absolutely killed it. We're #1 in all genres on iTunes. #2.
They're #1 because they were already established people, and controversy sells more than talent. Controversy sells more than skill. So, honestly, even though, yes, they are getting the numbers they said they aren't, none of it's actually because of the quality of what they're doing. None of it's actually because they're doing well in any of those categories. It's because people want to piss off the libs. That's it. But I guess this is a measurement of something.
Worldwide on iTunes, which is unheard of, especially for somebody making their first rap song.
But Ben didn't make his first rap song. It was a collab rap with you, an already established person. And Ben Shapiro is an already established person. And there was no amount of musical anything in that rap from Ben.
You know, Nicki Minaj dropped her diss song today against Megan Thee Stallion, so we're up against some stiff competition. But thus far, we've held down that top spot. I don't think she's going to be able to shake us, man.
I don't think so either, especially because, I mean, I saw that Megan Thee Stallion, that she actually she lowered her price, that she's almost giving it away. I mean her song, in any case. But let's talk about, you know, all of the various algorithms that are now being used to suppress the song, because they really do not want us to hit #1 on the Billboard charts, obviously.
Who is they, Ben? Who's they?
Yeah. Well, it started before the song got even released. Obviously, I distribute all my music independently through TuneCore, and TuneCore actually denied the release of the song. Before the video release, before anybody even knew you were on the song, I had tried to submit and release the song through TuneCore, and they turned it down, which is super frustrating because for an independent artist, TuneCore exists as the alternative to getting a record deal. And
do you know why you can't get a record deal, Tom? Do you know why you can't get one? Is it possibly because you don't have anything worthwhile to say in the music you're doing? Like, I don't know. Do you guys think Tom MacDonald actually would get a record deal if he tried? Or is he like, no, I'm independent, and that's the thing I'm proud of? Like, I don't know which one it is.
They exist as the alternative to getting a distribution deal. They're supposed to be there for independent artists who are avoiding the mainstream record label system of the music industry. So they denied the song on account of lyrical content before the song even hit the internet. So that was our first obstacle. We ended up getting the song.
How is that an obstacle, though? I have to ask, when you can put anything out on the internet without any actual problems whatsoever, how is there an actual issue? Like, I can post anything on the internet. A guy posted a video of himself beheading his father, and it was on the internet for 3 to 6 hours. How in the world is there even an obstacle at all on getting a song up?
To iTunes and Amazon and Spotify, we ended up getting it out. But you know, the obstacles didn't stop there. Now, if you just take a quick peruse of the trending charts on YouTube right now, Megan Thee Stallion is at #1, and our new video, Facts, is at #2. And if you just take 2 seconds to look at the metrics on the video, we're outperforming her in every metric. We have over 1 million more views than her. We have 50,000 more comments than she has.
Because you're literally doing a song not because you wanted to make music, not because you wanted to communicate an actual message. You wanted to piss off the libs. So you created a song that people are making fun of, and therefore getting numbers. This confuses me, because it feels like these people live in a completely different reality than we do.
We're outperforming. Her video is performing objectively worse than ours, and we're actually pulling ahead right now quite quickly. And the further we get in the lead, we're stuck at #2. They're not allowing us to pass Megan and hit that #1 spot. So, you know, whether that's YouTube sort of disagreeing with the controversial nature of our song, or, you know, Megan signed to Rock Nation. Rock Nation's part of Universal. Universal has a relationship with YouTube, and
it's got to be a system. They have to be victims under the boot of an oppressive system. They must be that. It can't be that the metrics are more complicated than they can understand at a glance. It can't be that. It's got to be a system.
I'm sure that Universal has invested so much money into YouTube over the years that I don't know if there's some sort of backdoor agreement where they're saying like, hey, we don't care how many views these guys get. We don't care how viral their video goes. Megan is staying at #1. In my best estimation, that's kind of what's going on. So our video is the top performing video on YouTube, bar none right now. And they're not letting us trend at #1.
And by the way, all credit to you and Nova for that. Nova does an amazing job. I mean, she directed this beautifully, and the editing is incredible. I mean, again, it makes it look like I can rap, which is an amazing thing. Have you ever heard of data brokers? Those are the middlemen collecting and selling.
Wait, why are we here? Wait, what? Is this just... Why do we suddenly have an advertisement? What? I don't know. The random, just... Yep. Did you know DDLG Playground sponsors us? You get Dildo, the 20% off coupon code Suris. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did that feel sudden and weird? It felt sudden and weird when I was watching a Ben Shapiro video and it happened. Okay, let's push forward.
Shapiro show to learn are so truly offensive, the stuff that you're putting out. I mean, anybody who has seen or heard the song that we put out, and the most offensive lines are things like, there are only 2 genders, boys and girls. Where'd all the American flags go? That's the offensive stuff. And then if you just, you know, scroll over to Hiss, which is Megan Thee Stallion, because of course she makes her music for thee. Her actual lyrics, I'm just going to read her lyrics here because this is what I became famous in the rap community for, is my reading of lyrics. This is like an actual lyric. This is the beginning of her song. Quote, I just want to kick this bleep off by saying, F y'all. I ain't got to clear my name on an MFing thing. Every time I get mentioned, one of y'all B-A-N words get 24 hours of attention. So, yeah, that's clearly saying there are not enough American flags is like exactly the same as whatever the hell it is that Megan Thee Stallion.
Do you know that it's because of the offensive content that's the problem? Like, do you actually know that? Or here's my theory on what actually happened. Automation happened. A lot of my stuff gets denied for monetization initially because YouTube's automated stuff doesn't allow it to. I don't know about TuneCore. Not in my wheelhouse of stuff that I know nor care about. But I know that stuff like this gets automated all the time. AI has been taking over every industry, basically, at all. So, here's the thing. What's actually offensive about the words piss, fuck, shit? The N-word, yeah, that's an offensive word. If somebody who's black is saying it, I suddenly care a lot less. I care less when a gay person uses the F-slur, because that's a word that's been used against them. If anybody's allowed to use it, it's them. Just like when somebody's told me I'm not allowed to use a country accent when making fun of ignorant people because that adds to a stereotype. I'm like, I live in Georgia. I live in the South. If anybody's allowed to make fun of this accent, it's me. It's me, bitch. So, I care less when that's the case. I'm trying to figure out what's offensive other than just there are swear words. And I'm not gonna lie. The older I get, the more I realize that swear words aren't really offensive. They're just kind of boring. Like, the fuck word is a filler word at most. And yeah, I use it a lot. I'd like to use it less because it feels like a filler word. It feels like a word that I'm using in place of something else. I've been in a Call of Duty lobby with somebody who fucking said fucking everything fucking before they could say anything fucking. They had to fucking say fucking, like they had to do that. It made listening to anything they said the most grating experience of my life. Not because they were swear words, they're all words that I use. It's how they were used. So I'm not sure where the actual offense is coming out in there, or if that's even the case. It seems more like they want to be offensive. They want to be angering. They want to be all of these things. And if they are not all of these things, they don't have an identity anymore. There's no actual struggle they're talking about. There's no actual positions they're holding. It's just whatever makes the libs angry. Athena Nova says, it's like using like in the most annoying way. Yeah. Like that.
Is doing clearly. I mean, if we're gonna make sure that the kids don't see damaging material, we got to stop Tom McDonald.
Man, it's.
I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather kids see material that has curse words in it than see material that talks about being a bigot. Just gonna say that right now.
In our song, I think in the pre-chorus is we talked about not promoting guns. We talked about not promoting drugs. We talked about not turning people's sons into thugs and their daughters into hoes. And, we sort of spoke out against like what the status quo in hip hop is.
Do you know why that's the status quo in hip-hop, though? Like, I'm just curious. Obviously, you know more about the culture than I do. But the reason that that's the status quo in hip-hop is because drugs and guns and stuff like that is seen as a way out of poverty. That is flat out the reason why it's there. All of that is there because it is seen as a way out of poverty. And hip-hop and rap have classically been considered music for more African-American people. And a lot of African-American people in the United States statistically have a lower standard of living than most of the white populace. That doesn't mean that there are white people that don't have a bad standard of living, obviously. But statistically, if we're just looking at this as a pure numbers game, there are more people in poverty who are people of color in the United States than otherwise, or than white people, generally speaking, especially when we're talking about generational wealth. So things that are considered ways to gain access to that wealth are things that are going to be glorified more in that music. It kind of makes sense. So when you're like, look at me, I'm in the scene, and the thing that you guys do because you want to live, fuck that thing, don't do it. Like, yeah, I'd rather people not grow up doing a ton of drugs. I'd rather people grow up not trying to be thugs. I'd rather people grow up not trying to be these basically hard-ass criminals. I would prefer that. But I grew up in Montclair in Pensacola, and if you know where that is and what the culture is like there, then you understand where I'm coming from when I say all you're doing is talking down to them.
And for some reason, you know, we're treated, we're living in some sort of upside down, backwards freak show, and it just seems like the most destructive material. And you know, hip hop is full of a lot of destructive material. The promotion of violence, the romanticizing of mental health and prescription drugs recreationally. It seems like those things tend to get the most mainstream attention, and anything that speaks out against that, you know, especially in our case, has been suppressed. So yeah, it's like, it's almost as if they want to sort of indoctrinate the, you know, the demographic for hip hop is like 19 to 35-year-old white American youth. Like, that's the primary demographic. It almost seems like there's a conscious effort.
Do you know why that's the primary demographic? Because there's just more white people. That's the primary demographic by numbers alone.
To sort of destroy and dismantle and dilute that generation, and anything else. Like, I would argue to say that our song is actually the total opposite of that.
Are we trying to pretend now that the music is what turns people into thugs and not the actual environments around them? Are we pretending that one now?
It's empowering people. It's hopefully encouraging people to stand up and speak their mind and not be afraid to have
stand up against what? What are they standing up against? Are they standing up against people who are non-binary? Is that what they're standing up against? Oh yeah, the powerful non-binaries.
An unpopular opinion or be quote unquote offensive. It seems like those things are sort of they try to hide them, and they don't, and they sort of shove this other destructive material into those kids' faces. And you know, I was one of those kids at one point in time. When I started making music, that's the music I was listening to, and that led me to years and years and years of alcoholism and poor mental health and all types of things. So I know firsthand how to.
But did the music lead you there, or did you make those decisions on your own? Were there any other factors that could have possibly led to that besides the alcohol, or I'm sorry, the music?
Destructive that content can be, and we've made a conscious effort to sort of combat that in our music, and we're the ones that are being suppressed on the YouTube charts and refusing to release our music through TuneCore.
You're suppressed on the YouTube charts, which is why you're being so successful on the YouTube charts.
Or it really is like some sort of upside down, backwards freak show.
Well, you know, it is crazy. Not quite as crazy as the fact that, again, you and I have the #1 charting tune on planet Earth right now, or at least in the United States, on iTunes. But if people want to get us to that Billboard #1 that we openly call for in the song, what's the best way for people to do that, Tom?
So that's the thing. We have.
All right. So we're at the part where they're plugging. There's no. There was barely any actual like meat to that conversation. There was just Ben Shapiro jerking himself off and bringing Tom McDonald on as the person who actually did the work. Okay. This. So #1 and #2 are being suppressed, apparently. So it's not suppression when you just suck. This is going to be a flash in the pan thing that everybody thinks about for a week or two, and then it will die. So that's the funny thing about music like this. Music that's meant to just piss people off. Music that doesn't actually have a soul of any kind. It comes out. Everybody laughs at it, or laughs with it, or listens to it unironically because they were beat as a child. I don't know. And then, when it's over, when the controversy is over, when the conversations are over, the music stops being listened to by everyone. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. That's Ben jerking himself about his rap career now. Insert the video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg,
Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Nixie-chan, the Oberon team, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.